so much, Jacob. It's very true. My hair is long. Good observation skills. Yeah, so very glad to be back here. Glad to be back on the stage. I just got back from Europe. That was really cool. Spent 6 months backpacking. Lots of fun, really cool experiences, and all sorts of cool people. But I gotta say though, the end part was a bit of an inconvenience. I was gonna go to Scotland to work at a hostel, and I had to go through Scottish border control, of course. And, you know, being the honest guy I am, and gotta think honesty is important, they asked me a few questions, and of course I answered them honestly. You know, they asked me what I plan on doing here, and tell them I'm gonna work at a hostel. Then they asked for a work visa, and surprise, I don't have one. So then they say, could you please take a wee seat here? And I proceeded to take a wee seat for 7 hours while they interrogated me and decided whether or not to kick me out. And, all right, I see how it is. It's cool for you guys to come over and do whatever you want willy-nilly without any work visas. You know, you come over and you want to enslave an entire population or steal some land or enact a genocide. Yeah, that's cool. But no, as soon as I try it and just want to work at a hostel, everyone gets mad and I get deported. And yeah, I was deported. And I gotta say, man, those work visas, pretty effective. If only we Native Americans had them back in the day. Would have made everything so much easier. Yeah, it's good to be back. And I feel a sense that you guys are glad to have me back, you know? I leave for a couple months and like, it all goes to even more shit here. It's crazy. You know, Helena has a march for guns during a march for lives. Missoula is flooding right after we just had the worst fire season ever. Everyone's just going around shooting each other, robbing convenience stores. It's crazy. I went to high school with the two kids who robbed the convenience store around. Like, and now I'm just seeing the mugshots everywhere. It's crazy. They make a video game set in Montana, and we're all just a bunch of redneck cultists. I mean, it's not wrong, but it's a bit rude as well. Although, I do have a big problem with that, the game. There is a lot of black people in it, which is cool. But like, have you ever been to Montana? You don't see a whole lot of that. There's more black people in it than Native Americans. Like, where in Montana is that true? It's not. They're so rare that if I do see a black person, I go, oh, you don't see that every day. And some more worse things, Vern Troyer, mini-me from Austin Powers, passed away. Oh, big old bummer. And it's not a Montana thing, but still, it just sucks. But the worst thing that happened since I've been gone is that infamous clip of Pita Pit. Now, for those of you who don't know, or a quick refresher, so customers who were Blackfeet went into a Pita Pit late at night, and an argument sparks between the employee and the customers. Things escalate, and the employee ends up spitting in the food, as you do. Now, of course, I completely disagree with what she did, and I'm disgusted by it. But at the same time, the customers were Blackfeet, so they kind of had it done. And that's just the sailor's cutie in me, okay? Like, on all other fronts, they have my full support, except the sailor's cutie part. I mean, honestly, if that were me working back there, I would have just served them a stale piece of bread and called it the Browning Special. Now, I know that seems a little harsh, but don't worry. I have a Blackfeet friend, so it's cool for me to say that. Well, just a really quick random question. Is anyone in here Blackfeet? Is that yeah? I'm not too sure what to think of that. If so, everyone keep an eye on that whistling person. If anything happens to me, you'll know who it is. Mr. Whistler over here. But yeah, I've always wanted to take the 23andMe test for the heck of it, but a big concern of mine is that if I find out I'm actually not Native American and I make jokes like I just did, I'm in very big trouble. Basically the next trainer. Sound really good. But regardless of that though, I am like the right shade of brown. Like, it is perfect. I went to the Home Depot the other day to see what shade I am, and turns out I'm Pawnee Pecan Cedar. Good. Or in Starbucks terms, a mocha chai caramel iced coffee to go. Not so bad, not so bad. But, and like, you know, it's such like the golden zone of color that like white people won't get scared around me and call the police for me doing normal things. But also, most brown communities will accept me as one of their own. It's like that just perfect golden zone I find myself in. It's a really good ratio. And it applies to other things too. Like, you know, I can go to a Mac DeMarco concert and enjoy it. But also, I can't grow facial hair. And that really confirms that I'm Native American. Like, have you ever seen natives try to grow facial hair? It's not a pretty sight, man. It's just a mess. Just a hairy, ugly mess. It's so bad that back in the day when a group of natives tried to grow facial hair, someone saw it and went, "Ah, Apache!" Yeah, that's how the Apaches got their name, man. It's a true story. But yeah, it's good to be back and be back up here with the Gingers, all the good people, and they're very glad to have me back as well to help meet their diversity quota. Native dude, gay dude. So we got it pretty well covered. And also, you know, even though all of us have changed a lot, you know. Jacob is a big shot in LA now. Alex is a husky mountain man, and Seth is here. Still kicking. Pretty good for him. And me, you know, I'm a man of the world, I'm cultured. I've seen things, I've matured. I've realized a few things, you know. For instance, there's a fine line between washing a cheese grater and grating a sponge. Hard lesson to learn, but I learned it. And it's a little special occasion too. Like, I believe the last time I did some stand-up for the Gingers, I made a joke about how white the band Fleet Foxes are. Now they're a really indie, super folksy white band, and ever since I made that joke though, they came out of a hiatus, made a whole new album, and started the world tour here in Missoula. So, with that, Simon and Garfunkel, if you're hearing this, please, I know things have been tough between the two of you, but you two are wider than two Gingers trying to do improv in Missoula. Honest to God. But, you know, and yeah, I know, Paul Simon has been here, but that's not the same. There's no Garfunkel. There's no funk. Not the same. It's like having chips and dip, but with no chips. All you got is dip. It just sucks. But yeah, I'm glad to be back. And although, do you ever? This is gonna sound really bad, but like, you ever feel like you just want to die? Like, not an angsty, like, I don't want to die. This is not an impromptu therapy meeting. This is just, really, it's more me just being really lazy and impractical. Like, I'm so tired of clipping my nails. I feel like I have to do it every other day. It's annoying. And every time I do go to clip them, I can't find the fingernail clippers, so they get even longer and grosser. It's just such a hassle, man. Honestly, I'd rather be dead. Like, it seems a bit extreme, but like, I'm just tired, you know, like, nothing else is really going on. Incredibles 2 finally came out, so don't have to wait for that. And I don't know how many times I can see the #1 movie in the world, you know, like, every other movie is the #1 movie in the world. I've seen them all. And like, yeah, I've done some cool things, met some cool people, went to some cool concerts, I went to Europe. Sure, I can go travel some more, but like, that's really expensive and it's so far away, and to be honest, I'd rather be dead. Most importantly, I won't die a virgin, so got that checked off. But although I do have my funeral planned out, And being a very humble guy, I only want 3 things. 1, when they lower my casket into the grave, I want the final countdown to play, with a bunch of fireworks going off, like the most epic laser show you've ever seen. I want people to go blind how epic the laser show is. 2, be immediately cremated and be put into one of those fireworks, shut up in the air, and there's a big old picture of my face. And 3, the recently formed Simon and Garfunkel going at it and playing The Sound of Silence to a PowerPoint presentation of all the times I've tried to go facial hair. All right, that's all I have for tonight. Thank you so much for coming out.